ফোনটা আপনার কাছাকাছি
ওকে, কোশ্চেন করতে হবে তোমাকে। আচ্ছা, আমি কোশ্চেন করবো না?
জি স্যার, কোশ্চেন
question?
এগুলো কোশ্চেন আমরা করবো নাকি আপনি?
কোশ্চেন ইন্টারভিউতে কোশ্চেন করতে হয়।
So the main topics are teacher autonomy, learner autonomy, and technology. Okay. So the first question is, how do you perceive learner autonomy in Bangladeshi universities, and are students ready to take responsibility for their own language learning?
Okay, learner autonomy in Bangladesh universities or universities globally are the same thing, giving students the freedom, the autonomy to work independently. And I think Bangladeshi students are mostly ready for learning independently because they have available resource to learn by themselves.
Okay, and the second question is, how does technology influence both independent learning and collaboration among students in your classes?
Okay, technology has this option to let students work independently because throughout the technology, students can reach different learning materials even staying from their home, right? They don't have to be in a real on-site classroom.
Yes.
They can also use AI tools to learn themselves. Let's say they are not clear of a concept, so they can ask AI to explain it for them with examples, right?
Yes.
At the same time, if you ask me how do they collaborate with the influence of technology, think of Google Classroom, think of Moodle, okay?
Yes.
How do these tools actually help students collaborate? Or think of a Google Doc that you can share, students can share with their friends, four and five friends. Let's say if they work on a term paper, on a research paper, on an assignment, say group activities that they need to work collaboratively, right?
Yes.
So they can share a Google Doc and 4 or 5 people can work in the real time together, right?
Yes.
Google Doc has this option. You can see who is working when, who is online, who is offline. Also, there's a chat box there. You can also chat and then communicate. So this gives you real-time collaboration, right?
Yes.
And reduces the hassle of finding a place to work together, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
So, and the third question is, what role should teachers play in guiding students to use AI tools responsibly to develop reflection, goal setting, and criteria thinking skills?
Okay, that's a very good question. The number one thing that I repeatedly tell my students to have to use AI ethically, right?
Yes.
And to consider AI as a complementary tool, not something that can replace them, not something that they find as an alternative tool, right? AI is going to do all my tasks and I'm not going to work at all. And I want another thing, the most important thing that I want all my students to have good AI literacy, because unless students have AI literacy, I mean knowledge of using AI, skills of using AI, and how to use AI, how not to use AI, why is AI actually, is AI an alternative, is AI a complementary tool, supplementary tool, this literacy we need to disseminate among our students. Unless we give this literacy, students will know that AI is something that they can replace, AI is something that they can replace them, AI is something that can be used as an alternative, okay? And we need to make them responsible also by saying that they shouldn't copy from things from AI, rather they can actually sometimes take information from AI, definitely, but before taking information or searching into AI, students need to think themselves first. Let's say you are searching on let's say the 10 techniques of teaching students in let's say primary school English teaching, right? So you have found like 10 techniques, 5 techniques of your own or 6 techniques of your own, you brainstormed yourself, right? And right after that, what you can do is you can ask now AI that I have these 6 points, now you give me some points. So you can now cross check, right, that whether AI really could give you something or not. But mostly students think that AI can give them more than themselves, undermining their own capacity. We need to stop this, remember.
Okay. This also may prevent their development.
Exactly. Unless we think critically, unless we brainstorm ourselves, unless we do mind mapping ourselves, our entire thinking evaluation will be stopped. We will never be critical or creative. That's what made us students or human beings, right?
Yes. Okay. So the fourth question is, how do you support learners in developing initiative and becoming more independent in their learning?
Okay, if you think of if you ask me about initiatives, so I encourage my students to take research initiatives. I always inspire that okay, you can work on a research paper, you can write an abstract, you can do your term paper better than the usual ones, you can cite research papers, okay, you can find out a topic and come to me if I'm free, when I'm available, or throughout the courses I invite students to find out their own research titles, okay. This initiative they take when I tell them, most of them take, but it doesn't happen with 100% students. To some students, I have to involve myself directly in taking the initiatives. Collaborative initiative it becomes then, right? But still there's an initiative, and mostly they take initiatives. So I guide them to okay. So I guide them to enhance. Themselves. Okay, to okay, becoming more independent in their learning. Okay, so this is how actually when they take initiatives of working on a term paper, something heavier than the usual assignments, right? A presentation that they prepared in 7 days, that they had to research a lot through research papers, through YouTubing, through blogging, and they themselves brainstorming, right? Synchronizing the information. So this kind of initiatives at undergrad level, I ask my students to do. Also, sometimes in the last semester or in masters, in some courses I do not keep final exams. Instead, students do research papers instead of final sitting exam. So they become very inspired to work on the paper because there is a chance of getting it published. So I think this is how they become more independent when they work on projects, right? I give feedback, they go back home, they work, and again they come and talk to me again. And once they complete one project with me under my one project with when they do one project with me under my supervision, I believe they can replicate most of the learning in a second project, and that makes them real independence. Actually, why do I guide them in a project like this, in these initiatives? I guide them so that they know what they can do independently later on. Once they leave my class, they may not meet me in person, but what they need is they need to take something. What is that? What are those they takes that I want them to take? I want them to take, let's say, how to do a term paper or research paper. What are the skills that they require? I believe most of the skills they can remember when they work for the second time. Okay, themselves independently. Okay.
First, they have to take the initiatives.
Exactly, and then later on they can take their own initiatives. Even some students, they take initiatives like they create YouTube channels of their own, YouTube channels of their own. They upload videos there. Some students write blogs regularly, blog regularly. So blogs regularly. So these are the initiatives that they take. Okay, and become independent. Yeah.
So the fifth question is, if you had complete freedom, how would you use technology to enhance your teaching while promoting student autonomy?
Okay, I would have made AI open. OpenAI is open. It's open. You can use it inside the class, outside the class, in doing the assignment, anything. Given that they are literate regarding AI, regarding the use of AI. Okay, this is the number one thing I would have done. This is one thing. And if I talk about the other technological tools, right? For example, Google Classroom, as I told you. YouTube is also another technology that they can use, social media technology. Okay, to enhance my teaching is like I would have the second thing I could do is I would have done is blending my teaching. Like, okay, some of my courses, for some of my courses I may have 50% on-site classes, 50% online classes, a blend of these things, right? With the help of Moodle or Google Classroom. This is what I can do. I also would have used technology for teaching, maybe I will use the flip teaching approach, like giving students the class materials before the class, 1 week or 1 day before the class.
Yes.
They will read it back in home, and the classroom will be a place full of debate and writing and activities. Okay, disagreements and agreements, controversies, right?
Yes.
I mean, I
think sometimes you even do that. You give us materials and then...
Exactly. The other thing is I would have told my students that, okay, let's say you want to do your presentation. So as I have technological access now, instead of classroom presentations, because I would have asked them to record their presentation and upload it on YouTube, on their own channel, and just send me the link. because this generation of teachers or students are going to work more with technology. The next generation coming is will be more equipped with technology, so any analog or backdated teaching may not work. But we need to still keep some in-person communications, because in-person communication is a lot of things that technology can never replace. Non-verbal cues, one's smile, remember, a lot of things, the vibe that you send one from one to another, this cannot be replaced with the technological support. But still I doubt that there is a generation coming, let's say Gen Alpha, if not Alpha then Beta, they will solely be relied on technology. So you have to think of that, what will happen after 30 years. If you want to teach after 30 years, if I want to teach the next semester, I have to change my pedagogy, you know. That this not the latest batch does not go like the oldest batch, because it's a different generation. The latest batch got smartphone 4 months earlier than the oldest batch. You know, at an early age they got it, right? So this is how actually we can integrate technology for teaching, but still we need to keep a little of or 50% of on-site or in-person communication, right? This is how actually technological integration can be done. Then effective pedagogy can be applied. Students' learning outcome is our main purpose. This can be enhanced, improved. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Welcome. At the moment, interviews.